Hey, welcome to another video tutorial on the web application netchecklist.com. In this video I'm going to talk about navigating within the application on the menu system that's designed for smaller screens. In the basic navigation video for this application, we touched on the fact that the page layout is based on a responsive design, which means that it's going to change based on the size of the screen it's being displayed on. Specifically, the menu system will change so that it's easy to touch menu buttons with your fingers on a mobile phone screen. In this video, I'm going to go over the specifics of the differences in the two menu systems. Okay, the first main difference involves these two split menu buttons up here. I showed you in the last video how these are split buttons, and when we size down to the menu designed for smaller screens, there's not really a way to implement that. And if you remember, on those split menu buttons, clicking the main part of the button does take you to a page, but there's some other options below that. On the first one, it takes you to the home page for the organization, and below it are the two buttons where you can manage single tasks. When we scroll down, that's going to change, and we're going to have a individual button for that home page for this organization. This is where we are now, Ready Real Estate Home. That's going to be the same as the main part of the button. And where these deal with single tasks, on this button we're going to have a single task menu. This is an accordion. It opens up to have those other two things. You can open it and close it just by double clicking it. A lot of these are accordion type menus. The second button is the checklist button. This goes to the main checklist page, and below it is where you can do other things all having to do with checklists. When we scroll this down, we have all of that rolled into this checklist menu, which opens it up. This edit checklist goes to that main page for checklists, which is the same as the main part of the button, and then these are all of the other things that are on it. So that's the differences with the split menu buttons. Okay, the second main difference in the menu systems has to do with the options that are shown over here on the sidebar on the different pages. Now these are page specific, so they're going to vary depending on which page you're on. When we go out to the on the smaller screens, obviously we don't have a sidebar. So what's going to happen is, instead of displaying them in the sidebar, they're going to display below these buttons. So notice here, this is that main page. These open accordion buttons for the task, sort, and filter options, and for copy checklists. And this is just a button to go to that page. Notice the last menu button here is the org setup button. If we come here, here's the org setup button, and below that is our task, sort, and filter options. It still opens the accordion menu, works just the same. Whenever you change things, you still have to hit the update, and you can open and close that. And then here is the copy checklist, same exact thing. It's just not in a sidebar, it's down at the bottom. And then here's the button to take you to the checklists copied page. Okay, next let's go over to our checklists page, and on the side of that is the list of checklists that belong to this organization. When we go to the smaller menu system here, we're not going to list them all, because that could get really long and you'd have to scroll down just to get to the main part of your page, but it rolls those into another accordion select checklist to edit, and here we see those buttons. And so if we click one to edit it, then we can edit it. It looks just like the page on the larger menu. Here we can again edit the name and description of the checklist. Here are the individual items. We can enter them. And when one is selected, notice it shows up darker here, just like it does. As a matter of fact, if we go back up, see in this menu, it's still darker here because that's still the one that's being edited. The other pages are going to work pretty much the same way. I'll go quickly over to the projects page. Here are the list of projects that belong to this organization. Also a button to add a new project. If I close that down a little bit, here is select project to edit. So there they are. We can select which one you want to edit. And here's the new project button. I don't think I need to go through. I think that should give you the gist of how it works. But the point is, the application is absolutely usable on a small screen, and you're not going to have to fumble around with teeny tiny buttons that you can't touch with your fingers. It's going to give you nice buttons that make it really easy to work with. So that's it. Thank you.